Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star, and the message I have for today is It Just Hit Me. The scripture comes from 1 Kings 12:16 through 17. When all Israel saw that the king refused to listen to them, they answered the king, "What share do we have in David? What part in Jesse's son? To your tent, Israel. Look after your own house, David." So the Israelites went home. But as for the Israelites who were living in the towns of Judah, Rehoboam still ruled over them. I believe in this message that God has set this person free. God has freed this person from whomever has been ruling over them, whoever has been regardless, like I hear God saying forcefully, like there was someone that was forcefully making someone do something. They were forcefully making someone behave a certain way and do certain things. And this person, now that they have been freed from under this person's thumb, they are now looking at I don't want to say their new leader, but they're looking at their new leadership and they're saying, well, I don't know if I can trust this person. I don't know if God would really send me this way. I don't believe this. I don't believe that. Regardless if this new person is a new leader, a new pastor, or if this is literally God that is now guiding this person. It could possibly be out here for someone is someone that has transitioned from being into new age spirituality, and now they have been freed from that, and they're trying to turn their life over to God, and they're looking at the laws and they're looking at the commandments, and they're thinking to themselves, I don't know if I want to follow all these laws. I don't know if I really want to do this. And it's like, this person is the just hit me part. It's like this person is just now realizing that no matter what they are trying to follow, whatever path they follow, there's still going to be some kind of rules, some kind of guidelines that they have to follow. And I just feel like this person doesn't want to follow any rules. They don't want to, they just want to do whatever they want to do. And I also feel like the just hit me is God saying that it just hit him, like it hurts. It's hurtful for God to see his child being so lost, because it doesn't matter where you go in life. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you do it. You are still going to have to follow some kind of rules and guidelines. And that goes with everything. When it comes to being single, there are still rules and guidelines to dating and how you behave on a date. There's always something going on with that. And then when you're in a relationship, there's always some kind of rules and guidelines with that. When you're married, there's rules and guidelines. Even in a lot of people are turning to polygamy, is it? Where you're married but you're allowed to date people outside the marriage, or you're allowed to have multiple people that you're married to, multiple spouses. There's still guidelines. There's still stories of men who assume they want to be polygamous. They want to have as many wives as they can possibly dream of, but they don't want any of those wives having as many husbands as they can possibly dream of. They eventually will realize that these wives, it could go one of two ways. Either they are going to start being jealous of each other and fighting and bickering amongst each other, and there will be no peace in the house, or they are going to become friends with each other and they are going to go and gang up on the husband, and there will be no peace in the house. And it's just like the competitiveness and all of that, it causes more stress than what is bargained for. Even if it's a situation where the husband decides that he wants to have people on the side, and the wife supposedly acts like or says that she's okay with that, she is going to show a lot of remorse. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be anger, because we are not meant to mess around with all these. We're meant to have one person. That is why every time somebody seeks out to have multi-party relationship, it doesn't work out because it's not meant to be that way. Even when men have side chicks and a side chick gets upset, she's trying to call the wife and text the wife, and she's going off on the wife and trying to fight with her, and then she's trying to do this to ruin his life and everything. And it's in reality, we are not meant to be that way. And there's always going to be some kind of rules, there's always going to be some kind of guidelines. And it doesn't matter what race you seek out, it doesn't matter what body type, it doesn't matter how much money they make, versus independent versus dependent. Is going to be the same thing. Nobody is going to want to be treated as if they are not good enough for their spouse. And I just feel like for somebody is just waking up to realizing this, that it doesn't matter, regardless if this man has dated different women from different races, and then he tried the independent woman versus the dependent woman, and then he tried the woman who is okay with it versus the woman who isn't and doesn't know, and it just never works out. It doesn't matter, and it's not going to, until you figure out in your mind that it's not meant for you to have all these different partners, all these nasty diseases going on in the physical realm, and these spiritual diseases going on in the spiritual realm. It's too much going on for that. Me myself, I cannot frame my mind around it. And I just feel like there is someone that is trying to find something to justify their needs. Regardless if they're trying to find a religion, the perfect kind of woman, the perfect kind of partner. They're trying to justify their lust. Because that's what it is. It's lust. It's lust to feel as though you got to mess around with everybody. Every time you see someone attractive, you think that you should be able to go after them. And baby, and just go all the way through. And it's just no, it's not. It's never going to work. And it's never going to work because it's not meant to work that way. Period. Some people try to relate our human nature to the animal kingdom, and in reality, we are not the same as the animals. First of all, I cannot stand when I'm talking to someone and they try to justify their actions, regardless to whatever it is, to, well, the animals do it. All animals don't do that. First of all, there are several different species of animals that will wait for their mate, and they mate with that one person only, and they stay with that person for the rest of their lives. And there are a lot of animals that do diabolical things that are absolutely disgusting. There are some animals that are sick, and y'all know I'm a nerd, and I like learning about all kinds of things having to do with history, having to do with animals, having to do with weather. Y'all. But anyways, some of the facts that I have learned about animals, I am not even, words cannot explain how much I would rather have not. And even in animals, such as, I'm thinking about lions, that's what I see right now, what God is visualizing to me. Even in the lion kingdom, there are fights, there are arguments. There are 10 lionesses to one lion, and you best to believe that those lionesses are going back and forth. The only reason there is order is because the head lioness then beat everybody up. Okay, nobody is gonna cross her, nobody about to argue with her, because she already then drug everybody back and forth. It is no peace in a polygamous relationship. It's not a peaceful situation, and it's not ever going to be validated. And that's just that. It just is what it is. That's just like some people will come in the comment section trying to validate their sin and start bashing different things with Christianity. No, God said what he said. Please stop trying to find some kind of way to say that what you like or what you want or whatever your feelings are is right. It's not right, okay? And you cannot force your thoughts and your ideologies and the way you want to live your life on someone else. You want to live your life that way, fine. Nobody messing with you. Nobody is bothering you. Nobody said anything to you. Nobody called for you to come into this and try to spread your nonsense. Like, no, if you want to live your life that way, fine. That's your sin. You gonna carry your own. That's yours. You the one that's gonna have to answer for that. But you're not finna convince me or try to bully me into saying that it's okay. It's not okay. And I said what I said. God said what he said. It's not okay. Y'all, and that is the message. There is somebody that is jumping from religion to religion, relationship to relationship, trying to validate what they want, trying to validate their sins, trying to validate their lust. And that doesn't matter. It could come from so many different things. It could come from what they're attracted to. It could come from what they're attracted to. Okay, and y'all already know what I'm talking about. What they're attracted to, the problems that they find with their body type. Maybe they feel like deep down inside they feel like God created them wrong. God did not make any mistakes when he created you. He made you exactly who he wanted you to be. He made you in the body you were supposed to have. And there's a situation where someone is jumping around trying to get validation for their lust. And God is saying no to all these things. It is sin. It doesn't matter how you try to flip and script the scripture of the Bible. God said what he said. He said it is a sin. He said it is a sin. He said it is a sin. And while I'm talking about this, God is reminding me about the eunuchs. I spoke about this under a certain message because someone kept trying to say that a eunuch is something that is not. And I'm gonna write about it down in the description box because I know I'm probably not pronouncing this right. But in reality, when God speaks about the eunuchs, when the eunuchs are speaks about in the Bible, the eunuchs are, however you say it, they are people that were born without their, how do you say it? Lord, their reproductive organs correct. There's something wrong with their reproductive organs. So they cannot be active with anyone. They cannot be intimate with anyone. So they are not acceptable for marriage because they cannot reproduce. These are people that, and if they choose to be one, it is because they have chosen abstinence for their entire life. They are not getting married. They are not seeking relationships with anyone. They are not seeking intimacy with anyone. And they decide to dedicate their lives to the church. Okay, that is what that means. And that's the message. God is saying you cannot try to force nobody to accept what you want, what your lust is. Okay, whatever your sin is. You can't twist and turn the words to make it acceptable to anybody. If that's the way that you want to live your life, you chose to live your life that way, and you cannot force it on anybody. And you cannot try to jump from religion to religion and relationship to relationship trying to search for validation in that. It is what it is, you know. And that's literally the message. Okay, somebody is just trying to, they just feel as though God has set them free from this. God has opened the door for them to come up out of this. And instead of them doing that, they want to stay in it. But God said what he said. And you can't force anybody to accept your feelings and your ideologies. That's what I keep hearing. Like, you cannot force anybody to feel the same way you feel. You can't force anybody to accept it and say that it's right. It is what it is. You live your life how you want to. Nobody is messing with you. Nobody is bothering with you, but you cannot force yourself on anyone else. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.